Hey guys, I'm Sabrina and I've been doing my own nails for over 10 years. And today I'm going to be testing out 10 of the most popular soft gel nail tips from Amazon. So that's a lot of nails. So to compare them all, I'm going to rank each of them out of 5 points in 4 categories. Those are going to be shape, durability, value, and an overall rating. So if you just care about the rankings, I've got that bookmarked below, but otherwise I'm going to be sharing some important details about all of these different brands, so stay tuned. All right, let's get into category 1 of the rankings, size, shapes, and aesthetics. So most of these packages are pretty decent, what you'd expect, pretty cute. Run through them real quick. Bottom ones is all right. So this one's actually Love Our Home. They kind of just threw some tips in a clear box and called it good. Rosalind got the nice holographic packaging. And then the UnaGella packaging, though, it is just gorgeous. It's got this beautiful artwork on the front, and then it has this really nice box, which is going to be really nice. UV light can actually damage these tips and make them brittle over time. So the frosted is a nice touch. So most of these brands offer a pretty good selection of sizes. I've ranked them off to the right here. Rosalind offers the most sizes by far at 20 different sizes, but most of them offer around 15 different sizes. There's 3 brands. Those are Model Ones, UnaGella, and Love Our Home that only offer 12 sizes. So I've tried out quite a few clear, like traditional soft gel tips from different brands, and I kind of tend to run into the same kind of issues. My nails are a little on the wider side. I tend to use most of the bigger sizes, and these bigger sizes tend to be pretty square at the bottom, which makes sense. Like if you look at my thumb, the cuticle area is kind of square. It's not really as round as some of the other nails, but I run into issues, especially with like my middle finger, where I still need one of these bigger tips, but the cuticle area is quite a bit more rounded than my thumb, and it's pretty tapered from the bottom to the top. And I've also had run into some issues, especially when there isn't a ton of different sizing options, where the bigger sizes will have larger jumps between them. So it's just a little bit harder to find a really perfect fit. So I'm curious if you guys have run into any of those similar issues, or maybe you have really small nail beds and you run into completely different issues. But yeah, really curious to hear if there's anything specific that you guys look out for when you're looking at soft gel tips. I've got a lot of nails to size, so I'm just going to go through a couple of different sizes of my nails just to make sure that the sizes kind of cover like my thumb, my middle finger, and my pinky, and then I will summarize the results from that. There are a ton of different sizes for this one. All right, so on Rosalind's website, these are kind of ordered for like extra small, small, medium, and large. So I think I'm definitely going to start with the large and see where I land. All right, that's pretty good. Maybe size down. Actually, that one's perfect. The large one that's kind of automatically picked out is definitely too small on the side. So I think I would have to use the smaller medium thumb and just round those edges out a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it seems like pinky's pretty perfect. Yeah, Rosalind, A+. All right, Elisa. Oh, this is like open. I don't really like that this is open, because if any of the nails come off of this, they're just going to come out. Yeah, I mean the same issue, but not as bad. I feel like these sizes fit me pretty well. They do look like they have some half sizes down here, so if you're like stuck up here between sizes, definitely make sure to check down at the bottom here. They threw them here. I don't know why it looks like it's showing up really brown on camera, but I'd say that this is a pretty good natural color for me in real life. There's some weird like manufacturing lines in there. I don't really like when they put the half sizes separately, you know, because when I'm testing, I want to like move between. So it'd be nicer if they put these ones like between the actual sizes. But still nice that they have them. Oh, wow. These come in a bunch of different colors. I really like that that's offered within the same package. All different colors. Really like it. I could see this being an issue. Like if you have a couple of like 3 nails that are all the same size, which I kind of do. This one, and this one are usually around the same size. I'm really liking that some of these bigger sizes are even slightly too big for my thumb. My left hand's a little bit smaller sizes than my right, but still, like when I first started doing these back in like probably 2018 or so, when they first started coming out, it felt like all of them were so small for my thumb, but they've really, really improved the amount of sizes that they offer. All right, model ones. So these are cool that they offer black. I was really worried about, you know, if these might not cure underneath, but I don't know if you can see against the white. It is a little transparent, like. So I actually feel like that would work. And I'm really curious to try that. Oh, I love the cuticle area on these ones. See? Round. It still looks great on my thumb. See? Thank you, model ones. Pretty good. That is perfect. Look at that. Yeah. You know, I might still file that a little bit, but that is so much better. So model ones is going to get a 5 out of 5 because that I love those. Some of these are like really opaque though. I don't think I can see through this white one like at all. I'm a little skeptical about the model ones being so opaque. All right, Fun Marcy. So I saw earlier that this comes with some cute little goodies. So it comes with these nails, and then it also comes with some stickers, which I think are adorable. Look at all these. We get hearts and we get flowers, and they're holographic. Some white ones, and there's some holographic ones. I think these are a great touch. I think it's the cutest, tiniest little file and pusher ever. Like look at this file compared to the size of my thumb. So there's 2 of them that look like they already have a top coat on, and then there are 3 sets that are matte. So looks like these ones you can use without a top coat, which is awesome. You just apply them and go. And then these ones you might want to use if you plan on doing some sort of design on top. They are like kind of really bulby. This biggest size is a little bit big at the bottom, but that size is pretty perfect. Wow, actually. Yeah, this one fits pretty well. So it was this one, and then this one was my middle finger. So there's a nice variation of sizes in this one. This one also has the half sizes down at the end here. They're nice. Fits my finger pretty well. Yep. All right, 5 out of 5. All right, let's try out the UnaGella. So all of these are shiny. So I'm not sure if these will need a top coat or not. This was one of the brands that only offered 12 sizes, so we'll see how this goes. Pretty good for my thumb there. Oh, that was about to fall off. Yeah, that is probably what I would use for my middle finger, and it is just, it's so square. Yeah. Don't love the sizing options for this one. That one's pretty good, but yeah, a little more disappointed with these ones. Probably give that a 3 out of 5. Could be worse. they at least are big enough for my thumb. So if it wasn't big enough for my thumb, I'd probably give it a 1 out of 5. But since they have my thumb sizes, and then I can just make some small adjustments to the other ones, I'll call it pretty decent. All right, Aussie Beely. These are pretty cool. These are the only ones. I couldn't find these without a design, so I ended up getting them in French. But I think they should wear pretty much the same. They are like a lot more transparent on the non-design part than the other ones, so I feel like they're going to cure a little bit better. But all right, thumb's pretty perfect. So again, square. And then more half sizes down here. All right, these Love Our Home ones, the beautifully packaged. I love that these ones come in all different colors as well. Ooh, and you even get some really transparent ones. That's really cool. Yeah, like I said before, like I don't know if I would really trust these ones to be able to like actually adhere really well. I feel like these ones would be more like your traditional nail glue. I just don't want to I don't want to get a nail allergy. But yeah, other than the white, most of the other colors look plenty transparent. We're starting off fairly round at the cuticle, which is a great start. That fits my thumb super well. These ones are really a lot longer than the others. Pretty good. That is perfect. 5 out of 5. Yeah, I mean, these all fit really super well. I am just going to give, I love that they're rounded. I'm just going to give it a lower rating because there are only 12 sizes in this box. All right, and Beetles. So Beetles has been my personal favorite. They were kind of the cheapest when I was looking when I first got into these. So, I mean, they're pretty good. You know, I like their sizes. These are a little square, so I do have to file them. So I'm going to mark them down for that. But, you know, good amount of sizes. Oops. Pretty decent. So, all right. And last but not least, the BTArtbox X-Coat tips. So these ones are significantly shorter than the rest of the nails. But I think that's fine because I feel like most people are going to get the really short ones for everyday wear. So, all right, starting off super, that is actually pretty big. Look at that. That is a wide size. I don't even know if, yeah, second size fits pretty perfectly. I even have to file it down. There's kind of like a big difference between each of these guys. I could maybe even get away with a third size on these, which is awesome because, you know, typically the smaller sizes, the widths run super small. So really nice to see that, you know, not only are there a bunch of different sizes, that they really have a range. All right. Yeah. I love this length here. There's a huge size difference between these two. See, this is a 3 and this is a 4, so they are right next to each other, you know, but yeah, that is a little bit on the square side, so I'll mark that down 0.5 point. But yeah, and then this one's almost too small for my next finger. I'd probably put it on anyway, but yeah. I mean, and all of these sizes look pretty similar. Like that fits, that also fits, and that's too small. Yeah, so BTArtbox, if you're watching, I don't know what's up with your between your sizes 3 and 4, but you need something in between here. So for part 1 of the durability test, I'm going to see how each of the brands handle bending and cutting. So these soft gel tips should be able to handle some light bending and snap back and not discolor or be permanently warped. So for the cut test, I've had nails in the past get kind of brittle. So when I try and cut them down to length, they actually just shatter. So I am going to see how each of these also handles being cut. All right, I'll just grab a random size from the middle, 2 of them for each brand. Snaps back pretty good. And then bends. I mean, I'm pretty sure these are all made out of the same material, so this doesn't surprise me that these are all reacting pretty similarly. Yeah, the color did completely come out. So I bend it this way, and then it gets like a color difference there. Then I go like this, and it kind of just snaps back. All right, so for BTArtbox, I don't know if it's just because it's a little tip, but it is kind of hard to bend. So it handles this way pretty well. If I pinch it this way, not so much. But it kind of snaps back. Okay, yeah, these ones seem stiffer on the tip. I think it might be just because of the shape, though. Definitely didn't like bounce back as well, I don't think, but they're all right. The shaping of the tip on these ones is a little interesting. You can kind of see, I'm really putting a lot of pressure on that, and it's not bending. Yeah, I think these ones, the MapQ, are gonna get 5 out of 5 for the bend test, and all the other ones are probably gonna get 4. All right, yeah, these are definitely a lot thicker. Maybe this one didn't snap back like the other ones did. Although I was pretty aggressive with it, but this one does feel also a little bit thinner maybe than the other ones. Right, this has like a similar, like right away I can tell like a thickness, like looks very, very, very similar to the MapQ, but a little bit thinner, I would say. Like some of the other ones don't have that at all, like a lip. Well, these are the ones that are supposed to have some sort of like well or something. I don't really see it. Yeah, definitely a lot thicker on the tip for sure. The Rosalind and the MapQ both. This is thinner for sure. Yeah, I can bend the back of it, but I can't even come close to bending the front of it. All right, I'm back. I've got all my nail sizes picked out, and I will put up on the screen which brands each of these are. So you may notice that we are missing one of the brands. We are missing the Model 1's nails, and one of the brands, UnaGella, is on there twice to make up for it. So while I was on break, I was thinking more about the Model 1's nails and how opaque they are. And I really just am not super comfortable with how opaque these are. I don't think that the gel is going to cure underneath. So I really don't want to get a contact allergy to gel. Just to preserve my health, I'm not going to test these Model 1's tips. I do think, though, you know, these are a really good price. You get a ton of tips and a ton of different colors. So I would use these just as press-ons with regular nail glue, or maybe use acrylic underneath of them that doesn't need any UV light to cure. But just for my health and safety, I'm not going to be using these for the rest of this test. All right, but we can get into applying the rest of these nails. So cure times vary for these, but most of them say to cure for more than 60 seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them in the flash cure lamp for probably like 10 seconds, and then immediately put them in my big lamp and make sure that I cure all of the nails for at least 2 minutes. And another thing that I'm going to make sure I do is I'm going to cure my thumbs in the lamp separately. Like, make sure that like they are flat in the lamp, because I've had issues in the past with these colored tips where, if my nail is at an angle in the lamp, I might be able to get away with it with clear tips, but it is definitely going to have issues curing if I use the colored tips. So that's some things I'm going to keep in mind as I'm applying these. I have already pushed back my cuticles and prepped my nails with a sanding band. So I just use a sanding band at 3000 RPM, and then I dehydrate with rubbing alcohol. So a lot of these brands do have their own like gel primer and glue that they recommend that you use with these. But just for this test, I am going to use what I usually use and what I'm used to using, which is the Macart primer, base coat, and top coat. There's not really a specific reason why I use these. They've just worked for me in the past, and they're kind of cheap, so it's what I use. Oh, and for my gel glue, I also use the Gellicky EC 6-in-1 glue gel. I just find it cures pretty quick and adheres pretty well. So also that one's pretty cheap too. A couple other things about these sizes. So some of these are definitely a lot longer than the others. So I just tried to do the shorter sizes on my fingers that get used a lot when I'm like, typing or grabbing things, which is my pointer and my middle. And then the rest of them I can tolerate longer nails pretty easily. So that's just kind of how I tried to order it. The one French tip is going to look kind of weird, but we kind of got a Frankenstein set going on here. I just need to get the primer and base coat on, and then I'll be all ready to go. So I'm just going to do that quick. So what I'm going to do, especially for these larger nails, is I'm going to put down some of the gel glue on my nail first before putting it in the tip. I'm just realizing that this might be etched, but I'm just going to try to apply it anyway and see how it wears. I feel like especially as, the manufacturing capabilities get better and a lot of these brands are offering like pre-etched, pre-matte like tips, I feel like there's no reason for any of the main brands to not offer something that's pre-etched. Like I feel like it saves a lot of time and a lot of mess. You can just get right to applying these. So yeah, so I'm just going to test it without etching it, just see how it goes. All right, I'm going to turn my flash cure lamp on here. First nail. I am going to just rock that on. And then cure it. So I am getting a little bit coming out the sides. It's kind of hard with the bigger nail sizes to avoid that. So I'm just going to plan on filing some of that off at the end. All right, I'm just kind of making sure like all the edges are nice and somewhat cured. Pretty good. I'm going to pop that in the lamp. So this one says to add a builder gel on top of the nail to just strengthen it a little bit more if you're going to be wearing it for any period of time. And I'm not going to do that for this test. I'm really curious how the design holds up with just a top coat. Plus, like, again, I feel like these are marketed as like a super quick, just put it on and you're done product. So I don't really like that, there's the additional step of having to put a builder gel over the top of it. So we'll see how it wears. I like that one, actually. Cuticle area is like super flush. Sometimes you can get the gel when it's like just the right amount of cured. You can, if it's come out a little bit, you can wipe it off. This combination looks so weird. All right, and then the pinky I usually don't apply anything to my nail, just to the tip. All right, this is how that set's looking. You know, not the most cohesive, but you know, these two actually look pretty close to each other. Right, I'll get this one on. This one I feel like I have to press down really hard. But the gel isn't like oozing out or anything, so. They're such different sizes, it's kind of funny. Oh, I think I got a big bubble in that one. Right there. It's okay. I think it's in the middle and I have a base coat on, so I think that's gonna be fine. Yeah, that's really hard to see. But yeah, there's definitely a bubble in there. I must just be applying these weird because got another bubble right there and another little baby one right there. Yeah, these UnaGella ones, I feel like I have to push down really hard. It was the same for both this pinky and the thumb. But you know, the gel didn't even come out the sides or hardly at all. All right, I'm gonna cure both hands for 2 minutes each, and I'm also actually gonna flip them over and cure kind of like underneath the nails here, just to make sure that these fully get cured, because some of them, my dog just ran across the house, but because some of them are pretty transparent at the cuticle, but not as transparent. They get more opaque the farther out the nail. That's definitely the case with like I think the BTArtbox ones and some of these other ones that are thicker in the tip. All right, so all of my nails are on and cured, top and bottom. I am just going to do some finish filing, get all these little nubs off, and take care of any gel that kind of seeped out the sides. And then I will top coat these. Just going to file off the little nubs that are kind of left from the manufacturing. You know, since I do have a couple of bubbles in these, what I do really want to do is try out the stickers that came with these Fun Marcy tips. So the bubbles are not really that noticeable, but I think these stickers are so cute and I want to use them. So I'm going to put just a couple of them on the nails. There, just like that. And that one's silver. I'll do a white one. They're super cute. I'll put same thing on this one too. These are nice stickers. Like they really lay down really flat. No, I am almost out. So I'm going to top coat all of these nails, even the ones that already have like a shiny top on them, just for comparison's sake, see how they wear. All right, the nails are all on. I'll give you some close-ups of each of them and like a side view. This one I like more than I expected. They're all pretty good though. And I'm going to do some really close-up comparisons, like side-by-side pictures for the wear test also. So those will be included later. So before I jump to that though, I do just want to mention like a couple things I noticed about the ingredients of these nails. Most of these don't really say outright what they're made out of, but you know, this Model 1s says they're made out of this methyl methacrylate, which is MMA or PMMA. So you might know it by its brand name, which is plexiglass. There's a couple different names for it. All this information is coming from an article that I'll link in the description. You know, most of the brands don't say what they're made out of, but a few of them do say they're made out of MMA or PMMA. And this little warning label here, not suitable for pregnancy and sensitive skin, kind of caught my eye in the Model 1s. So I wanted to look into it a little bit more. And from that article, what I can tell is that MMA is pretty safe. If you're filing at all or making any sort of dust, you want to be careful about that. You know, for me, I feel like it's something I feel pretty safe using. I've used these a lot before. And then from the article, it's also used in food packaging and medical applications, and also just as, you know, plexiglass and a bunch of different other applications. So it seems like a pretty safe material. But, you know, like anything, be careful. All right, all the disclaimers aside, let's jump to the wear test. So cure testing nails is pretty easy, and let me show you how. So all you need is your gel that you're going to use, your lamp, your nails, and these nail forms. So you can get these pretty cheaply. So when I was testing these yesterday, I was using just like a piece of these forms on like a Sharpie, and that was working pretty well, but I have a lot of nails to test here. So what I did is I went and I prepared a bunch of nail stands with little pieces of the tips on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere each of the nails to the little nail form using my flash cure lamp here, and then I'm going to put them in my normal lamp that I usually use for 2 minutes. And if any nails fail that test, I'm going to put them in this big lamp that I just got. This one's a lot more powerful than my other lamp, so I'm really hoping that, you know, these should cure most of these nails. If they're going to cure it all under there, this would do it. Let me just show you how like powerful this is. I'm going to point this away. Like this light versus this light. So I have pretty high hopes for this lamp. So for this test, I want to make sure I have plenty of gel. So I'm going to lay some down first on the form, and then I'm going to try and get quite a bit of gel in the tip itself so that when I meet the two together, hopefully there's no air pockets, so then we can really tell if the gel is cured or not. A very generous amount of gel. This is also something that's a little different about this test than what I would normally do, is I definitely am using more gel in here, so I think, you know, they definitely might need a little bit longer of a cure time. Put that on there, kind of push it down. All right, that's pretty good. So I'm gonna get that one going in my normal lamp for 60 seconds. And then while that's going, I'm just gonna pick out a couple more tips here. So this one seems like one of the darker colors from Love Our Home, so I'm going to use that for testing. Then with MapQ, I'm just going to use this deeper purple for testing. The UnaGella has cured for 2 minutes in the lamp, so we will see if we can peel that off and see what it looks like. Okay, so it looks like it peeled off cleanly. And this definitely fully cured. Nice. So I'm just going to go right on to the next one, and then I'm just going to loop through and get these all done. Came off cleanly, and definitely cured. Oh. Hey, that looks, it pulled away pretty cleanly. And it's cured. Yeah, you even got a big bubble of gel up at the front here that came off the edge of the form. And yeah, this looks all cured. Yeah, this one definitely didn't cure. Yeah, this one would have been Fun Marcy. I'm going to give Fun Marcy another shot here. I don't think I was paying attention. Looks like it came off clean. This one's from the upper row. So, yep, definitely fully cured. All right, and we'll try Fun Marcy again. I'm going to try putting them in different positions in the lamp too. So this lamp has mirrors in it, which I think reflect the light kind of many directions, and it's harder to put your nail in the wrong spot in the lamp or at the wrong angle. But this lamp only has lights along the inside, and it's got a black bottom. I don't think that the light bounces around in there as much. All right, came off pretty clean. I think I had a really big air bubble in there. And that looks like it's cured. All right, Fun Marcy's second try here. And it came off clean. Yeah, I think I just forgot to cure it for a second, 60 seconds, because this is pretty hard. So this came off clean. Oh, yeah, I would say that is cured. Well, I wanted to do a sheen nail haul with nail tools anyway, so. All right, and the Beetles. And that came off clean, is fully cured. And since this one's super short, I'm just gonna try to fill up the entire nail with gel, and then I'm gonna try curing it for like 3 minutes and see if that works. Yeah, this one, it appears to be more opaque than the others, which is why I'm planning to cure it for a little bit longer. If I could actually get a grip on the thing to flip it over, okay. All right, so while that's cooking, I'm gonna set up my Model 1s test. So I'm actually gonna test one of each color for this and see how that works. These ones, since I already have my suspicions about them, are gonna go straight in the more powerful lamp, and we're gonna see how they work. I'm gonna get just one of every color out here. So I'm gonna test all 4 of those. So this white is just super opaque. I can't see through it. So I will be super curious if this actually works or not. You can kind of see through it. I don't know if you could see when I was just placing that there. It's definitely not as see-through as the other tips. Oh, that came off pretty easy. Oh man. You know, there's gel coming off on my dotting tool. Yeah, look at, definitely, that's not cured if that can stick like that. Okay, but I do want to give this the benefit of the doubt though, so I'm gonna do one more test with it in the big lamp, just in case I did something wrong here. I'm gonna pop that off. I am making wrinkles up by the top here. So it looks like from about here to here, it cured, but about here, and I would say probably farther up, you know, this little spot right here, the gel stopped right about here. This isn't cured right there. You know, if you have very short nail beds, I would say this is a pass. If you have anything longer than that, like mine, I would say this is a fail. You might be able to get away with it if you like turn your nails upside down in the lamp and give it a chance to cure from the bottom, but I don't know. I don't think I would wear these again. Okay, so that's been in there for a while. Oh, and wow, that actually came off clean. That is really surprising. So I did not have high hopes for this. I don't know, maybe my issue was my lamp just wasn't strong enough. Because That is pretty, that is super well cured. Huh. So this one popped off pretty easy. Yeah. Nope, there's gel coming up. So that's definitely not cured. Huh. It's weird that the white one did, but then that one didn't. All right. Let's check out the pink. That's a good start. That fully cured. Oh, and if you like my nails that I have on right now, these were super fun to do. This is actually, I recreated some AI nail art designs. Hence the random, I don't know what's going on with this nail. There's like a random leaf in the corner. But yeah, this set was super fun to do. So if you want to see me recreate that, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss it. Let's see how it turned out. Oh. No. Okay. Yeah, that looks like it didn't cure. But we'll test with the dotting tool and see if we can scrape anything up. Yeah. Yep, these black ones most certainly did not cure. Okay. You know, I'm sure there's a more powerful lamp out there that I could get to test all of these, but I feel pretty definitively that most people are not going to have this kind of lamp. Most people are at most going to have this kind of lamp. Little disclaimer, please don't only cure your gel in these flash cure lamps here. Somewhere between like $15 and $25 is a pretty good price range for a decent lamp. If you are going to be doing a lot of these like pre-colored tips, I think it would probably be worth investing in a stronger lamp. They're not that much more expensive. This one's probably about a $50 price point, but I got it on sale for $35. And a really good feature of these lamps that you're going to want to look for too is a mirror on the bottom. That's just going to make sure that the light kind of bounces around from all directions. So some of these nail lamps will even come with like little gloves. You know, UV light is, you know, like sunlight, and we're supposed to wear sunblock and everything to protect ourselves. So, you know, if you're doing this a ton, especially if you're using the more powerful lamps, you know, I would definitely think about investing in some gloves. I actually got some in my Shein haul video that I'm going to show, so I'll link that if that is available. But otherwise, check that out on my channel. All right, midweek update. I was just trying to get my donuts and I broke a nail. I mean, I've done it before. These packages are crazy hard to open, but I was going to cut these all down shorter a little bit anyways, so I guess I got to do that now. All right, so since this one broke today and I had to cut it down, I'm going to go ahead and cut down the rest of these nails. But first, I just want to talk a little bit about how I'm feeling about the shapes of each of these. So some of these longer ones are more of like a pointy kind of almond. The ones I ended up getting on both of my middle fingers here are more of a more like squat almond, I would say. I've also had issues. I don't know if it's just because, I don't know if you can tell, but the nail bed itself on my middle fingers are pretty short. If you line that up there, you know, you can see how much shorter that is than my index finger here. I think because my nail bed is more short, I've actually had both of these middle fingers bend on me just while I was doing like normal everyday stuff, doing laundry, doing the dishes, and it hurt pretty bad. So I am definitely cutting my middle fingers down. The other ones though, you know, these guys have been pretty sturdy. I think this is either the Map Q or the Rosalind on this one. They've been pretty sturdy. I think these are the UnaGella on my pinky and my thumb here. They're a little bit more like shorter and a little bit more pointy. If you like the short stiletto look, I think these would be great tips to get because they're basically already in a short stiletto shape. You just would need very minimal filing to get that to be super pointy. You may notice that this BTArtbox has a little flat spot here at the front. So that did wear down a little bit, but I think that is just because when I removed it from the, I don't know what that middle part is from when they mold these tips. It took a little chunk out of the bottom. So this tip was really thin here and just wore away super easy. But the shape is otherwise holding up super well. Like the shape itself looks super natural, especially for, oh, there's my doggy. Hi. He wants to be in frame here a little bit. Oh, hi. So I think this little chip is my fault. I did have, you know, in my last video when I was trying to square the edges, wore down quite a bit, but I think these almonds are holding up much better than that. I don't know if I mentioned too, you can see that the French tip is really worn away around the edges. I think that's also completely my fault. My top coat, I don't think meshed very well with any of these soft gel tips. It was making, like it was kind of pulling away from the edges and pulling away, even in the center, making like little bubbles. You can see, you know, where the white has worn away here. That's a little bubble in the top coat. You know, I'm surprised because this brand here said to also cover it in builder gel for better wear. And here we are a week later, and, you know, aside from the places I didn't have top coat on, I think it looks, you know, pretty good. And for a square shape, that's a pretty good amount of wear on it. Like, I think it held up pretty well. So I've got another split in this nail, which is really unfortunate. We're just about 2 weeks in at this point. I was hoping I could make these last to the weekend, but yeah. So I've got another split in this nail. I'm not exactly sure how I did it. This might have been still damaged from when I split it the first time. Yeah, and I don't know if it's related, but the top coat flaked off of this one. I know that this was a shiny nail to start with. I kind of figured the top coat might not stick, but then it all flaked off and left this like really weird texture underneath. So I don't know if I damaged the nail, like the tip itself, and that is related to the chipping that's happening here. So some of these you might be able to tell from this view are a little bit more pink, and some of them are a little bit more like tan or darker beige. Yeah, this one's a little bit more beige. It actually kind of feels like it turned almost a little bit on the yellowy side. It could be my gross little natural nail in there too, but this one is definitely more pink in real life. This one is more beige. This one that was the French tip is really kind of like pink and a little more see-through. And this one is probably more like a neutral, just, you know, like lighter neutral. It is quite a bit lighter than the other beiges. I did lose this one. It's really hard to keep any of these nails on my thumbs. I mean, kind of expected I would lose that one. But I at least have that same nail in my pinky. And these ones are, I've seen this in the reviews on Amazon too, but these ones are like pink. Like they're not really a neutral, they're more like a light pink. This one's also more in the pink tinge. This middle one is like a darker beige. This BTArtbox one is more of a, I don't know if I would call it pink or beige. It's kind of like really right in the middle between them. As far as like a really basic natural goes, I think I like this color the most in person. But yeah, all of them seem to be wearing pretty decent. You notice like the flowers are wearing a little bit. I think that's just the top coat that I was using. I probably should have used like a thicker layer. I think I was even missing spots, especially on this flower. So I'm not surprised that the color wore off of those. Yeah, all of them are wearing, you know, pretty decently. I haven't had many issues, you know, since I cut them down, other than this big chip that's appearing. This video has been about 2 months in progress, so I'm really excited to show you guys the final rankings and everything that went into them. I'm going to put up on the screen the final ratings, and these actually kind of surprised me. Some of the nails that I expected to do really good did not do good. Some of the nails that, you know, I didn't really have an opinion about just consistently did well in every category and got a top ranking. So there are two brands that I did not include in these final rankings because they failed the cure test. I will show you the breakouts in all of the detailed categories. I did not give them a final spot in the grand totals. Rosalind was the first place winner. Close seconds are Beetles and Fun Marcy. Those are all in the brightest green category there. So in the second lighter green category, these are tips that I thought also did very well. All of these rankings were very close to each other. So I'd say, like most of the tips, number 7 and up really did very well. The one tip that did pretty poorly was that tip that broke on me, the Love Our Home tips. So they really got a hit in the durability ranking, and they also got a big hit in the overall ranking just because they didn't offer that many variety of sizes and their packaging was pretty lackluster. All the nails really ranked pretty well in the size, shapes, and aesthetics category. The only brand that didn't do that well was UnaGella, just because they only offered 12 sizes, and those sizes I don't think had a very good variety for my nails. Durability category, all the nails really did pretty well. There was a couple of little chips here and there, but as I explained in that section, that was pretty much entirely my fault. So I gave every tip a 5. Except for Love Our Home. I gave it a 2 because it broke on me. I didn't give it a 1 or a 0 just because I only tested one nail, so that could have just been a one-off, but for this test, they're getting a 2. All right, value. So this section, I was really surprised by the really wide varieties of costs per manicure. So some of these sell pretty cheaply, like Rosalind had only 60 cents per set, and they offer 20 nail sizes. So that kind of blew me away that they were one of the top brands in this category still offering so many sizes. The most expensive was the BTArtbox, $2.59 per set. It's still so much cheaper than getting your nails done in a salon. Just for this ranking, I gave them a 3 because they were more than 4 times more expensive than Rosalind or UnaGella, which were the two tips that were the cheapest that actually did not get disqualified. And then the overall category. So this category is a little bit more squishy. So I'll go into a little bit more detail for each of these nails and how I came up with each of these rankings. So a couple of these nails, specifically Beetles, really offers by far the most options. I tried to look for the brand-specific websites and other places, but I wasn't finding that much. I was finding the most options on Amazon. So that's pretty much mostly where I looked. I'll show you under the Beetles store. They actually have a crazy amount of different colors, different shapes, all these different design options, which I'm a little skeptical about how those would cure. They do say to adhere those with gel, so I assume that they would cure underneath, but again, I would want to do a cure test with my own setup at home just to make sure I'm being safe with that. Yeah, BTArtbox similarly also had a ton of different options. So did Fun Marcy and UnaGella. Oh, and MapQ. Model 1s, I was surprised I actually had to give a very low rating to because while I saw that they did offer a lot of clear tips, I had a really, really hard time finding any pre-colored soft gel tips from them. The tips that I was actually testing for this test are now out of stock. So I don't know if they're going to be offered anymore. Elisa, I also gave kind of a lower rating because it didn't seem like they offered that many more options. They offered some. When I actually looked at their store page, it was all hair clips. They didn't even have any nail products. So I don't know if they're just starting to branch out, but right when I'm filming this video, they didn't have that many other options. As far as removing these nails go, so all of them were basically the same. I didn't see any difference. I did film that, but I'm not going to show it because it was really boring. I didn't want to use cotton pads just in case I did more acetone in one or not. I just soaked them all in straight acetone. They took about 30 to 40 minutes to soak off, all of them did. So I gave them all a 4. BTArtbox, I did take down half a peg just because they do advertise their tips as being very quick soak off, and they were not. All right, and then the Sabrina's Choice Award. You'll notice the two tips that did not qualify, I gave them a 2. Love Our Home, I gave a 1. This was based on a couple of different reasons. I didn't love all of the color options that they had. So I was looking at their listing photos and I actually reverse image searched a couple of them, and I noticed they showed up like all over Pinterest, all over a couple different places. So I don't know, it kind of put me off. So Rosalind, I actually surprisingly really liked those. So I will say that they do advertise on their package that they have some sort of built-in well on their tips that when you're applying helps prevent spillage. I didn't notice anything different between that tip and the other tips. I looked if there was like any sort of like extra groove or anything, and I didn't see one. So meh, but I was kind of blown away by the number of sizes that they offer. 20 sizes is an amazing selection for these kind of nails. Oh, and I was noticing on Amazon that they have tips with designs on them, and they're almost not hardly even more expensive than the plain tips. All right, so the BTArtbox, this overall ranking was really impacted by the fact that it didn't cure, but you know, I think they have a great amount of options, like different sizes, colors, shapes, like designs. Some of the designed ones do seem like they get pretty expensive. But yeah, still really impacted by that cure test. So I gave Beetles a 4. They offer a crazy amount of sizes and colors and everything seems like it's a really reasonable price. The one thing that got them down on the overall rating was I did have one nail with a small manufacturing defect. If you look back into the unboxing, I think it was, or yeah, if you look back into the unboxing section, there was a little spot I pointed out where there was like a shiny line in the nails. I actually have like 4 boxes of the Beetles nails, and I also had one nail from one of those other packages that had a little section that was slightly discolored. So I don't know if it's just because I have a lot of the Beetles ones, so I've seen, you know, a large number of their nails that I've seen 2 tiny defects, but I did mark them down a little bit for that. MQPQ, this is another one that had a bunch of different colors within the same box, which I really like. I thought that the packaging looked pretty cute, but the experience was pretty unpleasant. When I was pulling it out, like nails were falling off. It was really hard to get back in. Nails were also falling off when I was trying to do that. So I have like a collection of them over here just because they kind of fell everywhere. So I marked them down a little bit for that. I mean, a lot of the nails have like a little like slidey box, which I think would have been, you know, all it needed. This brand seems like it does a lot of like press-on nails that are like pre-designed and stuff. Not as much as soft gel tips, although they still offer quite a bit of options. A lot more than others, not as much as Beetles or BTArtbox. UnaGella, I thought these were pretty cute. I really like the light pink color. They do offer a lot of other options as well. I just wasn't a super big fan of the shape, especially on my larger nails, but overall pretty decent. I liked them. Elisa, this one was also pretty good. I don't really have anything bad to say about them. The only thing is that this package is open, so if any tips come loose from this like form that they're attached to, they're probably gonna fall out. Oh, they do offer, you know, some other size and color options too. All right, so Model 1s, I really liked that they included the ingredients and warning labels and stuff on the back. I did not like that they didn't pass the cure test. So Fun Marcy, I really loved when I opened that package and I saw a bunch of stickers. That made me pretty happy. It was also nice with the mini file and the mini pusher. Yeah, I just thought it was cute. I loved the little added touch, so I gave them a pretty decent score on this. All right, well, I hope you guys really liked this video. It was really fun putting it together, so let me know if there's any other questions you have about any of the brands. I'd love to answer you in the comments. Otherwise, I'm going to be putting out a couple of new videos. So one of them is going to be super fun. It's going to be me recreating these nails here, which were designed by AI. And I've got a Sheen nail haul, a doodle nail art video coming up. So if you want to see those, make sure to subscribe. I'm going to be putting them out in the next couple of weeks or so. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.